Good morning. Nice to see you all this morning. I'm David Bosch, your County Executive Officer, and I'm pleased to welcome you to this town hall meeting. We're trying some things different, as you know, in terms of our ability to communicate and engage with our employees across the organization. And so this is kind of the first occasion we've had to do one of these town halls. We hope to institutionalize this and do these on topics of interest to our employees from time to time. So a couple of ground rules, just because we're new at this. We are live casting this, so those who couldn't join us in person have the ability to watch the goings-on from the convenience of their own desktop. And we're also taking questions from them. And so if you saw the email that came out on Friday, we want to encourage participation even remotely if necessary. And so if there's a lull in the course of the Q&A section today, we'll take questions from those who are participating remotely with us. We do also have 3x5 cards for those who are a little bit bashful and prefer not to stand up to either make a comment or ask a question. We want to make sure that this is a comfortable environment for all. And so you're welcome to fill out a 3x5 card, and over on the side has those available for you. Also, cell phones. Let's turn those cell phones off or put them on vibrate. I have to always remind myself to do that. So if you'll join me, I'd appreciate it. What I want to do is quickly overview the agenda and how we're going to proceed. So I'm doing the welcome. We're going to then hear from Mary Dietrich about the temporary shelter that was recently approved by our board. We're going to then hear from Leo McFarland, who's really an expert in homeless shelter operations, and he's the chosen operator of the temporary shelter here on the Government Center DeWitt campus. Then we're going to hear from, actually, Graham Knaus is going to sub in for Jeff Brown to talk a little bit about the Marbit study. Some of you are familiar with the study that we commissioned about 6 months or so ago to really take a look at the state of homelessness across Placer County, not just here in Auburn, but in Tahoe as well as down in the Roseville area. And so we're going to hear an update on that. I'd also commend our website to you. If you haven't been to My Placer recently, we're trying to use video in a variety of up-to-date technologies to keep our employees and our community informed. And so I'd encourage you to go to My Placer. There's an excellent video on a presentation that Dr. Marbit did a few weeks ago. All of that is going to occur in a very short period of time, about 15 minutes or so, because really what we're here to do is hear your comments, your questions, your concerns, and we want to respect that. And so the bulk of today is really set aside for that purpose. And then at the end, I'll make some closing remarks about what you can expect looking forward. So let me just double check my note here, and I think we're good to go. So let me turn it right over to Mary Dietrich for her part of the presentation.
Thanks. I appreciate everyone coming. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mary Dietrich. I'm the Director of Facility Services. Our department is responsible for managing the facilities that are out here, and as a consequence, we were the lead department in working with the permitting that went along with this use. The first aspect of the permission to use the facility was a temporary conditional use permit that was granted to the county by the Community Development Resource Agency. And what that did is it allowed for a temporary use of the facility as a homeless shelter. The term of that agreement is for 1 year, but has a limitation for a pilot program for 90 days. And so with that, it identified building 303 A and B portions. That's the building that's shown in red there. And just to orient you for those who are not familiar with where this location is, to your left, at the bottom of the page is Atwood Road. To the left is Richardson Drive here. The jail is in this location. The gas station, fueling station, this is F Avenue and the roundabout. So the facility is located in portions of 303 A and B. And for your orientation, the access to that is right along this location into an entryway right between the buildings. The second component of the permissions to use the property was a site access agreement, and that was a license agreement between the county and Right Hand Auburn, who we are in a contractual arrangement with. Right Hand Auburn is a nonprofit public benefit corporation who was created for the purpose of raising funds to house, feed, and clothe homeless individuals in the Auburn area. They're comprised of community members whose names you would more than likely know, and they're very committed to providing shelter and have advocated for the use of this facility. In turn, Right Hand Auburn is contracting with Volunteers of America, and they'll be speaking a little bit to their program. But what we ended up doing then is creating a contract, a site access agreement with Right Hand Auburn that goes into greater detail as to the specific operating requirements and the contractual requirements that they have as they run their pilot program. And so just to give you a little bit, and I'm sure Leo will go into a little bit more, but the plan for the shelter is that it would be open in the evening through the following morning, 7 days a week. Occupancy before and after these times would not be permitted. A meal would be provided in the evening with a continental type breakfast in the morning. Both men and women would be housed in the shelter. Families and children would not be allowed to be in this location. And VOA, very importantly, will be providing referrals to community and county-based organizations to provide for mental health, substance abuse, medical care, legal services, and public assistance as needed. As I said, we entered into a site access agreement, and again, that goes into some of the more details of their operation. And those are that it is a 90-day pilot period, pilot program. There is interest on the part of Right Hand Auburn and Volunteers of America to extend this program, but the way it is structured is that there are no approvals and no extensions to this agreement. And should they want to continue their operation, they'll need to return to the Board of Supervisors and make that request and have that specifically considered by the Board of Supervisors before any extended period of time for use could be approved. The hours of operation for the operator would be from 3 in the afternoon till 8 in the morning. Client access would be from 5 o'clock to 7 p.m. A staff is required to be present during all times of the operation. There's a limitation on 49 individuals that can be in the facility at any given time, and that is inclusive of the operators of the shelter, and I think that there will be between 2 and 3 individuals there at all times. The access agreement requires compliance with all state regulations in terms of building code, environmental health, food handling, and compliance, of course, with the conditional use permit. They are going to be doing some improvements in the buildings for ADA and some fire life safety improvements, and so they're required to comply with the building code. They are also required to be in compliance with state penal code provisions regarding sex offenders. And I think importantly, one of the requirements that we have is that the operator and the county will be meeting biweekly. And this will be a meeting that is open to the community. It'll be open to employees. And we intend that there'll be county staff that are present, both from Health and Human Services, Facility Services. I anticipate a presence from the Sheriff's Office. And it will be open, and it will be for the purpose of having a dialogue of what's happening in the shelter, what has occurred, There's a great deal of record keeping that Volunteers of America and Right Hand Auburn are required to keep, so they'll be reporting out. But it will also be a venue for us to hopefully hear from county employees about any issues that they may have. Hopefully there won't be issues, but it will be a forum, and it'll also be an opportunity for the community to provide us with input. So with that, that's kind of the short and long of the contractual arrangement that we have with Right Hand Auburn and Volunteers of America.
My name is Leo McFarland, and thank you, Mary. You did a very good overview of the plan. I'm the President and CEO for Volunteers of America, Northern California and Northern Nevada. I've been with Volunteers of America this is my 37th year, but this is the 40th year that I've been working with homelessness and people suffering with substance abuse and addiction issues. I'm also one of your neighbors. I've